I want to start with a question I get asked in my clinic more than almost any other. Doctor, should I really be eating eggs? I heard they're bad for my heart. I hear this from patients every single week, many of them in their 60s and 70s. People who gave up eggs years ago based on advice that has since been thoroughly overturned by modern science. And I'll be honest, it frustrates me because the nutritional misinformation around eggs has genuinely caused harm. Older adults who avoided eggs out of fear missed out on one of the most complete, affordable, and biologically powerful foods available. I'm Dr. Linda Harmon, a geriatric physician and nutritional medicine specialist with over 20 years of clinical practice. And today, I want to walk you through exactly what happens, step by step, system by system, when you eat 4 eggs a day consistently. Your brain, your muscles, your eyesight, your hormones, your metabolism. Each one responds to eggs in ways most people have never been told. Stay with me through the end, because the last 2 benefits are the ones my patients consistently find most surprising. Let's address the fear directly, because it's the single biggest reason older adults have been avoiding eggs, and it deserves a clear, honest answer. Will eating 4 eggs a day raise your cholesterol to dangerous levels? No. And the evidence behind the original concern was never as strong as it was presented. The fear originated from research in the 1960s that has since been substantially revised. Here is what decades of more rigorous science have actually shown. Your liver produces the large majority of your body's cholesterol internally. Dietary cholesterol plays a much smaller role than was once believed. When you eat eggs regularly, your liver adjusts its own production downward to compensate. More specifically, consistent egg consumption tends to raise HDL, the protective cholesterol, shift LDL particles toward a larger, less dangerous form, and improve triglyceride levels, particularly in older adults whose metabolic efficiency has naturally declined. A long-term study highlighted by Harvard Medical School found no significant association between moderate egg consumption and cardiovascular events in healthy adults. The American Heart Association now acknowledges that eggs can be part of a heart-healthy dietary pattern. One important clinical note: if you have type 2 diabetes or are managing active cardiovascular disease, discuss egg intake with your physician. Individual context still matters. But for the majority of healthy adults over 60, the cholesterol concern is not a reason to avoid eggs. After 60, one of the most medically significant processes happening in your body is something called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass that accelerates with age. It affects balance, mobility, metabolic rate, bone density, and ultimately, independence. And the single most important dietary factor in slowing sarcopenia is protein quality. This is where eggs stand completely apart from nearly every other food. Protein quality is measured by something called biological value. Essentially, what percentage of the protein you consume can your body actually absorb and put to use? Beef scores approximately 75 to 80%. Fish around 80 to 85%. Even chicken reaches only about 79%. Egg protein scores 100%. Every gram is utilized, nothing is wasted. This exceptional efficiency comes from eggs' evolutionary purpose, not movement like muscle tissue, but development. An egg contains every building block required to grow a complex living organism from a single cell. That makes its amino acid profile uniquely complete and uniquely accessible. One amino acid deserves special attention: leucine. Leucine functions as the primary trigger signal for muscle protein synthesis. It essentially tells your body to begin rebuilding muscle tissue. Eggs are one of the richest leucine sources available. For an older adult trying to maintain strength, mobility, and independence, that leucine signal is not a minor detail. It is the mechanism that makes the difference. 4 eggs per day provides the consistent leucine stimulus that Mayo Clinic researchers have identified as necessary to meaningfully counteract age-related muscle loss. I had a patient, a 71-year-old retired engineer named Donald, who came to me complaining of worsening mental fog, difficulty concentrating, and persistent low-level fatigue. His diet was otherwise reasonable, but he had eliminated eggs years earlier over cholesterol concerns. Within 6 weeks of reintroducing them, he described a noticeable improvement in mental clarity. His wife noticed it too. What changed? Almost certainly choline, vitamin B12, and folate, 3 nutrients that eggs provide in exceptional, highly bioavailable quantities, and that work together to support a critical biological process called methylation. Methylation is your body's cellular maintenance system. It repairs DNA, neutralizes toxins and excess hormones, and produces neurotransmitters including dopamine and serotonin. When methylation is sluggish, the effects are felt directly: brain fog, low energy, poor focus, mood instability, and increased inflammation. Research supported by the NIH estimates that up to 40% of adults carry a genetic variation that impairs methylation efficiency, and most have no idea. Eggs supply the precise nutritional raw materials this process depends on. Choline alone, concentrated in the yolk, is something 2/3 of American adults fail to consume in adequate amounts, according to nutritional surveys. A single egg yolk provides approximately 147 milligrams. 4 eggs per day puts you at a clinically meaningful intake level that most Americans never reach through diet alone. 2 antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin, accumulate directly in the retina of your eye and serve as its primary biological defense system against UV damage, blue light from screens, and the oxidative stress of aging. Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss in Americans over 60, and lutein and zeaxanthin are among the few nutrients with well-documented research-backed protective effects against it. The National Eye Institute has specifically highlighted these compounds in its large-scale vision protection research. Here is what makes eggs particularly valuable for this. The lutein and zeaxanthin in egg yolks are suspended in fat, which makes them significantly more bioavailable than the same compounds in most vegetables. Research has shown that the body absorbs these antioxidants from eggs at rates 3 to 8 times higher than from equivalent plant sources. Beyond eye protection, egg yolks are dense with phospholipids, specialized fats that form the structural membranes of every brain cell. These are the fats your brain is literally built from. Consuming them through whole food sources like eggs, rather than isolated supplements, provides them in the biological context your brain is designed to use, supporting memory, processing speed, focus, and the mood stability that many older adults struggle to maintain. Eggs contain several nutrients that most people never associate with them, and that are particularly meaningful for adults over 60. Vitamin K2 directs calcium into bone tissue where it strengthens skeletal structure, rather than allowing it to accumulate in arterial walls or soft tissues where it contributes to stiffness and cardiovascular risk. Many older adults are deficient in K2 specifically, and eggs are one of the few common dietary sources. Retinol, preformed vitamin A, directly supports immune function, skin integrity, and cellular repair in a form your body can use immediately, unlike the beta-carotene in vegetables, which must first be converted and is poorly absorbed in many older adults. Vitamin D, concentrated in the yolk, supports bone density, hormone regulation, immune response, and mood, all areas of significant concern after 60. Regarding which eggs to buy, pasture-raised eggs consistently show a richer nutritional profile, higher omega-3 fatty acids, more vitamins D and E, and better lutein content, because the hens have outdoor access and a more varied diet. Pasture-raised organic is the best combination when budget allows. However, even conventional eggs vastly outperform most packaged breakfast cereals, protein bars, or processed breakfast foods in nutritional value. Don't let perfect become the obstacle to good. How you prepare eggs and what you eat alongside them matters more than most people realize. Cooking method: soft, scrambled, poached, or soft-boiled preserves the most nutritional integrity, particularly for the delicate phospholipids and fat-soluble antioxidants in the yolk. Avoid high-heat frying in refined oils. The yolk's beneficial fats can oxidize at very high temperatures, partially undermining their value. Cook over medium heat in olive oil or butter. Pairings that amplify benefits. Arugula or spinach. The fat in egg yolk increases absorption of leafy green antioxidants by up to 9 times. Tomatoes. Lycopene, which supports heart, prostate, and eye health, becomes significantly more bioavailable when cooked alongside fat-containing foods like eggs. Avocado. Adds monounsaturated fat and fiber, extending satiety and further supporting fat-soluble nutrient absorption. Black pepper. Piperine markedly improves carotenoid absorption from the yolk itself. Onions. Sulfur compounds support liver detoxification pathways that eggs' choline also benefits. Timing. Eating eggs at breakfast produces the most consistent metabolic benefit. The protein-fat combination stabilizes blood sugar for 4 to 6 hours, reduces mid-morning hunger, and delivers the leucine signal during the morning window when muscle protein synthesis is most responsive. Avoid the common mistake of eating egg whites only. The yolk contains the majority of eggs' nutritional value: the vitamins, the choline, the lutein, the phospholipids. Discarding it to reduce calories means discarding most of what makes eggs therapeutically valuable. 4 eggs per day. For most healthy adults over 60, that simple habit supports muscle preservation, brain function, eye protection, hormonal health, and cellular repair. Simultaneously, affordably, and through the most bioavailable nutritional delivery system your body recognizes. The cholesterol fear was built on outdated science. The yolk avoidance habit was built on misunderstanding, and the widespread belief that eggs are nothing more than a protein source misses the majority of what makes them so valuable. Real, whole foods, eggs included, will always outperform processed alternatives and isolated supplements for long-term health after 60. Your body knows how to work with food. Give it the right food consistently, and it responds. Tell me in the comments, have you been avoiding eggs? And did anything in today's video change your thinking? If this was helpful, please share it with someone you care about, hit like, and subscribe to Senior Meal Coach for more evidence-based nutrition guidance built specifically for adults over 60. Take good care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.